Okay, so this is going to be a reading for the Sagittarius who is not in contact with their person. And I usually don't do readings like this, but someone asked me to do it in the comments and it really resonated with me. And I was really thinking about it a lot. So, whoever needed to hear this reading, this is absolutely for you. So, I pulled your energy, their energy, and the energy between the two of you. And your energy is showing up as really having healed through the cycle of this over a long period of time, but still you could feel kind of stuck in your mind around this, or it could feel really hard to escape the thoughts around this connection. Now, the person who's attached to you here with the Two of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles, they're kind of caught between moving on and stepping into new love or staying kind of in the old energy of this connection. And so I see them also kind of struggling to fully move forward and not really sure if they can or how to do that. They also could, for some of you, but not all of you, they could be seeing you be surrounded by new love or new community or abundance, and they're kind of holding onto your energy in some way. Now I'm gonna go further into the reading, but before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for receiving this reading and for listening to this. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings. You can find my email down below in the description box. And also don't forget to like and subscribe, because when you do that, you lend the energy to the channel that allows me to co-create and manifest messages that resonate the most with you. So thank you so much for that. And let's get back to it, Sagittarius. For the energy between the two of you, we have the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. So there's some kind of knowledge amongst both of you that this is a struggle to move on from. Both of you are kind of saying, I'm having a hard time. I'm pretty sure the other person's having a hard time. There's an awareness of that this is not just something simple to move on from. With the overall energy being the Page of Wands, there could be this feeling of curiosity around this, kind of on both sides of like how to move forward. This also could activate some type of inner child's something between both of you, where you may not always feel exactly like yourself when it comes to this connection, because something like an inner child wound or something from your childhood could be kind of triggered here. Let's take a look at that. It's like your higher self is trying to offer you a lesson, or your spirit guides are trying to offer you a lesson that ultimately is going to help you grow, both of you. This is a relationship that's meant to teach you not just one thing, but many things, and it's a lesson that kind of unfolds over time and could be taking kind of a long time almost in the material world, or how we typically think about time on the human level, on the earth level. It could feel like it's taking a long time for you to learn this lesson, or it's kind of extending over many years, and you could kind of just be at the very beginning of learning from this or growing from this, and it's meant to kind of mature both of you. With flowering, innocence, and sorrow as the oracle cards for the reading, it could feel like you are kind of growing up from this connection. You are kind of blooming into the next version of yourself. But even as you do that, it brings a sense of sorrow around having to leave this behind or having to move forward. Yeah. Okay. Let's dive in here and take a look at how you are doing in this situation with the Temperance card and the World. I don't know why I just laughed there. I have a feeling that this is no small thing, and that to just kind of check in on your energy is no small thing either. This is something that you've kind of been moving through for a while, is trying to close out this cycle here, and at times getting kind of stuck. Let's take a look at your energy with Temperance. There's a feeling that this connection has kind of reunited you with yourself, or with your own sense of happiness. It could have felt like throughout this healing process you got more in touch with yourself, with your own desires, and specifically with understanding yourself as a whole human being outside of this person. And that really is what allowed you to close out a cycle here, is when you began to kind of focus on yourself. And you're showing me that this could have taken a long time, or that maybe you've been single for a while after this, or you've just been kind of focusing on your own energy as you try to close out this cycle. There's a certain level of acceptance with it, of, this came to a close, at least for a time, and this is kind of where things are at now. For many of you, you could have kind of been separated from this person for 9 months, 8 months, or a year. So 8, 9, or 10 months for some of you, or the 8th, 9th, or 10th months, August, September, October, could be significant for you in some way. The cycle that closed out for you when you separated from this person was a cycle of people pleasing or putting other people before yourself. You could have had to really recenter in the sense of understanding how to put yourself first and what does that look like. And you could have actually found a newfound confidence in yourself when you departed from this situation that you just didn't have before, where maybe you were putting this other person first, and you started to ask yourself, why do I do that? Why do I put other people first? And what would it actually look like for me to put myself first? So you've actually made quite a bit of progress, and you should be quite proud of yourself, Sagittarius. If you're resonating with this reading, you've been on a long journey of really closely examining why it is that you didn't put yourself first in relationships, and what it would actually look like to do that. And that's not easy. At times it can feel lonely, at times it can feel scary, and you're showing me a sense of triumph over closing out that past cycle of people pleasing, and really being quite proud of yourself and saying, what, I really did it. I really went within to kind of identify what makes me happy, what self-love looks like, what confidence looks like, and you're recognizing I may not be done healing. Maybe no one has ever done healing per se, but you've certainly come a long way, and you should be really proud of yourself. Now, with the 8 of Swords, there could be something you're still working through. Okay, yeah. You're kind of showing me that it's very hard for you to actually look honestly at how painful this was for you, and that when the pain comes up, there's a feeling of needing to push it away or run away from it or just not face it. And it may not necessarily be a conscious thing that you're doing. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction to the emotional pain that you experienced from losing this or from going through this with this person. There's this feeling of, I really just can't look at how painful this is for me. And with the Knight of Cups coming out, the sort of final challenge in healing your heart, or, moving towards love and releasing yourself from this baggage, really comes with confronting that pain and confronting the fact that it hurt and believing in love again. And there could be a part of you that struggles to believe in love or struggles to fully open up to love because of what you went through in this connection. And you're showing me it's not that you're doing that by choice or that you don't want to be open to love. You do, but to actually open up to loving energies in your life would kind of require you to take a closer look at the way that this relationship affected you, and not just the way that this relationship affected you, but the way that it hurt you, and the way that it broke your heart, and the way that it affected the ways that you think about love and connection. Let's take a look at this other person's energy here. Okay, so this other person is showing me that they're kind of seeing you. So they could be in community with you. They could be connected to you on social media. You could have mutual friends. But there's some way that they're able to witness you and your energy and what you're up to and what you're doing. And they're seeing you being very confident. They're seeing you be very independent. Maybe you're accomplishing a lot of goals. Maybe you're moving forward on your path. And they have a lot of opinions of you, and they're kind of seeing you as someone who doesn't take any bullshit and doesn't put up with any crap, and because of that, they could have sort of a renewed sense of respect for you, or they just see you as a very strong person who doesn't really get fucked with, who doesn't really get shaken. Whether or not that's actually how you feel or if that's actually true for you, they're perceiving you in this very competent and singular and powerful energy. And many of you are coming up very strongly as a feminine energy, and so we all have masculine and feminine within us. And even if you're not a woman per se or feminine identifying, you could kind of take on the feminine role in this connection, or you could identify with like the divine feminine and like that part of your spirituality. But they're seeing you kind of as like this strong, independent, like woman figure, who's very competent and very successful. This person could be very focused on or determined to kind of create new love or build new love into their life. Um, that could be with someone else or that could be with you, but they're kind of showing me like that they're hell bent on connecting to love in a way. It almost comes through as like very serious, which kind of shows me that they could be trying to distract themselves with someone or something else, or like refocus their heart space, but they're showing it like I need to focus my heart space on something else so that I don't focus on Sagittarius too much, or so that I can kind of think of something else. And for some of them, they could even be focusing on their work or trying to find a renewed love for their work or a new passion for their career so that they can kind of distract themselves from you. For others of you, they may be seeing someone else and they're kind of like, this is the love that I'm going to focus on so that I don't have to focus on Sagittarius. But they could still be holding onto your energy in some way with the Four of Pentacles. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, so they're recognizing that they are not in contact with you. They can't necessarily speak to you so freely. Like, they're recognizing that there's been a break in the connection between the two of you, but they still get kind of drawn back to it in some way. Or it could feel like their heart is on pause when they're not in contact with you, and so they're just kind of pulling out this more practical, career-oriented energy because they know on some level that they can't connect with you, and so they're like, okay, gotta be realistic, gotta kind of focus on other things, but at the same time, it's almost like their heart itself has been put on pause for you. And both of you are kind of showing a recognition of this is just how it has to be at this time. There could have been a third party influence or someone else that came between you and this person, and they're showing a sort of regret over that, of kind of connecting with this other person or balancing out with this other person instead of you. And you could be kind of aware of that. You could be aware that they feel that they've made a mistake by connecting with this other person, or that they have some regrets around it. There's sort of this shared understanding between the two of you that there was some mistake involving another person. But at the same time, I don't see the two of you necessarily talking about it. It's just kind of known between you. So someone here wants to approach you. They want to come towards you and express how they feel, express that they miss you, and all of that. And that kind of remains in the energy between you. Even though you're apart, there's this sort of line of connection between you in the energetic level, even if it's not felt on the physical level. And I see that this is moving towards, at some point, some type of communication or some type of contact. There may be this sort of like hunch that you have that this isn't really over and that you're going to hear from that person again. And I see that you're kind of moving in that direction, both of you. It's just not really materializing yet, and it may not materialize for some time. And that both of you are kind of struggling with that, struggling with the fact that you're not in connection, that you are separated, that you're not talking, and really feeling, the stress of that, feeling like it's hard to move forward without each other. And so there could be this feeling of holding on to hope that you're going to talk again or that you're going to connect again soon. Specifically, it could be hard to not know, like, when are we going to talk, or are we going to talk again? And that's kind of what lingers for both of you, not just for you, but for them also, this feeling of not just missing each other, but really holding out hope for when this period of silence between the two of you is going to end. But I'm seeing that there's still lessons that you both need to learn separately. And I see that you're kind of on your way to learning those lessons, especially the more that you center yourself, the more that you care for yourself, the more you get in touch with your own energy. I see you kind of rising up from the ashes like a phoenix in a way. And even though you still get caught up on the heartbreak of this and there's still pain that you need to investigate here, I see that you're kind of growing through this experience, and they're kind of watching you grow from afar, but they may not be fully learning the lessons that they're meant to be learning at this time. And that could be why the both of you are still kept apart energetically or by the universe or on the physical level on some way, because there's still things that you both have to learn before you're ready to really reconnect and know each other again and come together again. Let's get 3 cards of advice from the universe about this connection. There's a part of you that rejects the way that you truly feel about this, because you're like, I have to prioritize myself. I have to be in this energy of independence, of putting myself first. And if I truly feel the pain of how I feel, or I truly feel the truth of this situation, then that's going to pull me down, or that's not going to be supportive to my energy. I'm not going to be my strongest, most powerful self. And the message here is, don't reject the way that you feel just because it's not attractive or it's not powerful, it's not boss bitch energy. Like, fully own the way that you feel and allow those feelings to make you stronger and to allow you to feel stronger. Like the strongest people and the most famous celebrities, like, often they are forged in fire. They are made stronger by the hard things that they've gone through. And so step into your confidence, but also step into your pain when you need to and allow it to kind of wash over you. And then allow yourself to feel confident again, and kind of ride the waves of how you're feeling. You don't have to have one without the other. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this helped. I hope it resonated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.